Good morning, this is Emily Castro. I am here with my little buddy Dred and my whole paranormal team, and today we have another haunted cemetery for you. This cemetery is well off the beaten path. It is called Ridge Cemetery, and it is on a hill called Williamsburg Hill in Shelby County, Illinois. It was quite a long trek to get here, although you know when you're getting close, because Williamsburg Hill is the highest point in the area. And this place actually used to be a bustling town called Williamsburg. It was founded by a Dr. William around 1839. It was eventually a healthy little community of around 600 people. The community did actually fade away and eventually become a ghost town because the town had been built on a stagecoach line from Shelbyville to Vandalia. When the coach stopped going through and then the railroad connected in a different place altogether, there was no traffic left to the town, and one by one everybody left. It looks like this cemetery is still in use. The community might be gone, but the cemetery is still used. Yeah, the cemetery is right by that microwave tower, and some people suspect perhaps some of the paranormal activity alleged to take place here and some of the creepy vibes might actually be either brought in by the tower, just a natural phenomenon that makes people feel creepy, or else a paranormal phenomenon where the microwaves help activate whatever paranormal activity might be occurring. I have no idea if a microwave tower is capable of doing things like that. It's a good theory. Now, one of the websites that I was looking at, I think it was called Supernatural Magazine, claimed that this is one of the spookiest and most active paranormal sites in Illinois. Don't know if that's true. It does have a bit of a creepy vibe, but that could just be because it's so far off the beaten path. That's interesting.
We passed their farm on the way here.
Well, according to the internet, including Troy Taylor's website, Prairie Ghosts, and Troy Taylor is the source of many of these places I go to. Some of the activity reported here includes glowing balls of light, meeting an elderly man who beckons to people and then disappears as you come closer, and unusual animals not known to currently exist in Illinois, such as panthers, being sighted in the area. And there was an interesting tale of this woman who'd recently moved back to the area after living elsewhere, and her small child, who was a 3-year-old girl, just started wandering on her own. They eventually found her, no harm done, until they were driving by the cemetery later, and the girl said that that is where she'd been heading because the people that she met wanted her to go there. And when her mom asked what people, she answered the people who live under the ground. So that's a bit of a creepy tale. And apparently the lost town of Williamsburg is right around here. Like if you wandered a bit over the ridge, you'd be where it was. Although I don't necessarily want to wander. We saw a lot of no trespassing signs on our way up here. There's the road out. And this hill is actually the high point of this whole area here in Shelby County. It's 810 feet above sea level. Everybody who comes from a mountainous place is probably going to laugh at that. But that's pretty high up for here on the flatlands. Well, that's interesting. This must be the older section. Got the old stones over here. Must be a child here because it's got a lamb design on the gravestone. I do believe usually lambs mean it's a child buried there. 1878. Yes, 6 months old. That's sad. Farewell, Melinda, wife of Oscar Perry. Died 1881. That one has some shaking hands on it. I do love the art on these old stones. There's something so fascinating about old cemeteries. I think Freya and Raven are just glad to stretch their legs after the car trip here. I'm just going to take a moment here, me and Dred, to stand a bit clear of the rest so I can soak up the vibe. I don't really feel much of anything vibe-wise. I think it's just a old cemetery with some stories. Although I will say, just driving up close to it was a real sense of foreboding, but I think that's just because it's like so far off the beaten path, driving along on the narrow country road, wondering exactly what we're getting ourselves into. What do you say, Dred? What do you say, Freya? Well, I think that's it for Ridge Hill Cemetery. Interesting place. Well, our second stop for the day is Wolf Creek State Park by Lake Shelbyville. Haven't been here in a few years, but I figured since we were in Shelby County, we might as well stop and have a hike. Let the dogs stretch their little legs. Just when it was starting to feel like spring, we had a late season cold snap. We are now back to winter for another day. So this park is alongside Lake Shelbyville, which is another man-made park like Clinton Lake, which I showed you a few videos back. It's a very popular recreational destination. It spans Shelby and Moultrie counties in central Illinois. in both this park and that haunted cemetery, Ridge Cemetery, are in Shelby County. It's a very rural county. Lots of cornfields. There's mud. Oh, yuck. I keep slipping and sliding. Look at that. That's why I was thinking it'd be fun to go down on the sand, but I kept thinking, no, it's going to be a muddy slip and slide to get down there. I think she's thirsty. The beach.
Come on.
Let's give thirsty dogs a chance to drink. Except Jared, he won't drink. Oh, he is. He must have been real thirsty. Well, it's cold with the wind, but it makes a pretty sound. And they have to have their reunion. She did not like to be parted from me and Dread. Well, that's where I was, right down there with Dread.
Those are not hiking boots.
Oh yeah, they're slipping and sliding boots. I wasn't expecting so much mud. I walk with more than Claire.
What?
I walk with Claire.
Do you know?
Mm-hmm. Which way?
To the right.
Oh, mud, 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 mud.